Hey y'all, what's up? What's up? It's your girl here, MJ's Nia. Welcome to the channel. So yes, before I get into the video, I will say this at the beginning. Please be respectful in the comment area. I've been lately having a lot of people coming in the comment area, picking at my voice. I don't know what's going on. I haven't seen this in years. Normally people just come and discuss the video. Some people are, but there's some people who's kind of trolling in the comments. So please keep the video about the dating scene. Um, that's what I really want to talk about. I want your viewpoint on the dating. I want the men and the women to share their thoughts and expressions about how they're getting mistreated while they're dating. That's what I want to keep the topic on mostly. Not me, the messenger, but I'm just sharing you videos, reading articles that I've seen, researching online. I had to look them up. So I just want to, give you a warning ahead of time.
You have been warned. There is nowhere to run. You will pay the price. I will take your...
I'm just giving y'all a warning. If I do see that you're disrespecting me and you're not really talking about the video, cussing me out or anything like that, well, YouTube will block the cursors. But you're disrespecting me, I will block you. You have to keep the topic on here, which is the T app. So yes, let's go ahead and get into it. The T app. So the T app was an app that was used for women to go and secretly see what type of man who they were dating or who they were getting involved with, and they were sharing information about these guys, seeing if they were a red flag or a green flag. Well, it got hacked.
Okay, guys, all you cheaters out there, beware. There's a new app that just came out, and it's called the T app. And it's ripping up the internet right now. Now, if you haven't heard of that Facebook group called Are We Dating the Same Guy? It's just like that, but an app. Basically, it's an app to support women. They'll post the guy and then say, hey, is anyone else dating him? Because I am. And also, it's used to find out if that guy's a predator, if he has history of DV. Look at this. You can give him red or green flags like a Yelp review. And they're even leaving comments. So this app is currently ripping up TikTok right now for multiple reasons. The first reason, women are leaving with broken hearts because they're seeing their man on the app and finding out they're not the only one dating him. Look at this one. Why the T app just exposed my N-word for being down low. What? This is insane. Another thing is men are finding out they're on the app and they're pissed off about it. Why? Because here's the thing. Some women get on here and if they just don't like the guy, they'll get on here and just say whatever. And I know this stuff happens because on the Facebook one, I had stuff written about me. And I'm like, I don't even know you. That's basically defamation. So now some guys are on the app saying this T app is effed up. They're lying on me, da-da-da-da. This guy made a whole chart trying to address his allegations. Another complaint that I heard is now the app is getting toxic. Women are going over there just to post, tell the guy's business. I heard that now women are even posting other women to post on.
So y'all done took the T app from being an women only app to let us know about shit ass men to now females being posted.
So now women are mad because this app was made to protect women. Not only that, the number one rule about apps like this is you're not supposed to screen record or take pictures. Because if this information gets out, that puts the woman at risk. The man she's talking about could get wind of this and he can go pull up on her.
Let me put this in stupid terms for y'all. The ones that are f***ing up the T app and letting the men know that they're actually on the T app. The moment that you read out loud or you get that stinky iPad and you f***ing record what people are saying when it's supposed to be anonymous, they're gonna put two and two together. They're gonna know, oh my gosh, I went through this with XYZ, with Brittany or whoever and guess what? I'm gonna reach out to Brittany and I'm either gonna put her in harm's way or I'm gonna send out that cease and desist letter. I'm gonna get lawyers involved. Some of those men that you're posting on that app have money. Play ball. Y'all are up the game so unconsciously y'all don't even realize.
Oh my god, they are putting women on here too. That's crazy. Now, as I said, a lot of women are on here just to talk crap.
I downloaded the T app not for myself, but to see what was on there. And honestly, I fairly lost the plot because I'm looking at these comments and people in the comments like, oh yes, sis, don't go for him. People like Oompa Loompa ain't got a shrimp.
So then this girl makes a video, right? And she's like, guys, we're missing the plot. If you guys keep this up, right? These men are gonna make their own app, bro. And they're gonna do the same thing. Which, by the way, guys, they did. There's a men T app. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you the T-Born app. And all the same stuff is happening. Now, supposedly, the app got taken down in 24 hours. Wanna know why? Not only did these guys crap post about women, right? They started posting their exes' nudes. And this is what I've been hearing. But I still see the app right there, and I was able to download. Maybe it was a different app, because I heard there was multiple men T apps. But yeah, women are upset about this. Now, there's a post going around saying that 5 women have been found unalived due to the T app. I have looked on Google, and I haven't seen anything that correlates the T app to some unalivings. There's also one about a guy who unalived himself because of the T app. I don't know if it's true, but what I heard is that someone said something about him that ruined his life, and he just took himself out. I'm only seeing this be spread around TikTok, so I can't really see the weight of its validity, but I can believe that things like this is happening. It's possible. Okay, guys, this video ends here. As I always say, what do you think about this?
And before I play anything, I want you guys to see the creator of the app and to give you an idea as to why he created the app. So let me play this video for you.
Says the T platform receives about 1 legal threat a week from someone who doesn't appreciate having their behavior called out. But T is not backing down because he reasons, and I agree, that truly there are tons of wonderful men out there looking for love. And if you have nothing to hide, then you really should have nothing to worry about. A couple of years ago, after the pandemic, I decided to go on a date on Bumble. The person seemed very nice. I sit down with him, and one of the first things he says to me was, I don't want to make it weird, but I feel like I should tell you this because I'm a father and I have 2 daughters and they're both in college. You shouldn't put your first name on the dating app. And I said, why? And he said, do you know it took me 2 seconds to Google you and find out every aspect of your life? Now, my name is Poonam. So there's not a billion Poonams in New York City, but there's not one either, right?
Right. Yes.
So I said to him, well, what's the big deal if you can Google me? I mean, if we're going to meet in person, you're going to know my name anyway. He's like, I just feel like as a dad, I should be telling you. I said, oh, no, that's very nice of you, whatever. We go on with the date. At the end of the evening, I get home. I turn on the news. First thing on the news, from Connecticut that day, it says, woman meets man on Bumble, goes on first date, found dead the next morning. I was like, all right, that's a sign from God. So that's not a happy story, but it got me thinking about safety. So, all of that is to say, in my dating experience, I have not really come across anyone misrepresenting themselves materially when I've met them in person. My theory is that is mainly because my system is very impatient. I kind of match, I text for maybe 3 or 4 days. And if we're not meeting within 2 weeks, you're never hearing from me again because who has that kind of time? And I think it saves me a lot of hassle. But my focus has been on meeting who I think I'm meeting ASAP and then determining chemistry and compatibility. It has not really been on safety.
Right.
That said, start with some statistics for this podcast for context. The Pew Research Center, I think, said 30% of U.S. adults claim to have used a dating app, up to 48% of people aged 18 to 29, which sounds about right. However, 10% of new dating profiles created are believed to be fake. 54% of online daters report encountering a catfish. Male profiles are 21% more likely to be fake than female profiles. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. And 68% of users report encountering someone who has lied about their identity, including in real life. Now, this can be as innocuous as someone shaving a few years off their age or, a few pounds off their body, or as dangerous as someone with truly a history of physical violence, pedophilia, God knows, right? Someone who now can follow you home. Again, living in New York City is not something you worry about so much because nobody can get into my house. But in 2023, you launched the T app, which, to be clear, is not a dating app, it's a dating safety app. This was inspired by your experience watching your mom try online dating, which was really what got me fascinated because I'm a single mom with a son who is super protective. Yeah. And he's a potato. He's like a tiny little thing. And meanwhile, he thinks he can protect me. I loved that. And I wanted to start with, tell me about your mom. What's her story?
My mom is a wonderful, very kind woman who has really made me and my brother her number one priority, I would say, as long as I've been alive. So, about 10 years or so ago, they separated and ultimately got divorced. And my dad eventually remarried. My mom has stayed largely single, during that time. And she has, had dates with different men over the years that she kind of met organically, through her community and things of that nature. And she's 60 now, 61 now, 60. And yeah, she said, "Hey, look, I'm really ready to find a partner. Like, I'm ready to really put myself back out there." And she lives in a more rural community. So she said, I think I want to try dating apps because it'll just increase my aperture, if you will. Like, I'll be able to meet more people with some technology because I'm not meeting enough people organically. And so that's how a lot of this all started.
So did your mom tell you, "Hey, buddy, I'm ready to start dating again and I'm going to go online. I need to prepare you"? Mom was about to set up a dating profile?
That's pretty much exactly what happened. So my mom was visiting me at one point and she told me all this. And I was like, "Oh, I'll help you set up your dating profile. Finally, your tech nerd son can finally do something he's good at. I don't know how to change a tire, but I could build you an app type thing." So anyways, I was like,
Okay.
"Yeah, let's get you set up on a dating profile." And I took her out for a little photo shoot, which was really fun. So we went out and went to a cute little wine bar and got some good pictures with a nice basket type chair, it was real nice. And I just set her up with a profile on Match.com. And then I kind of said, "Hey, you're off to the races a little bit." But then I really started to see what was happening on there. She started to show me some of the encounters that she was having, and some of them were innocuous. And then there were tons of catfish on there. There were these 35-year-old Instagram models that were out here flirting with my mom in her 60. And she said, "What do you think this is, Sean?" And I said, "I don't know, Mom, you're great and everything, but that maybe doesn't seem like a real person, And then she would have conversations, and goodness, I think dating can be complicated for women at any age, but I think it's particularly bad for women, for example, maybe in their 60s. The men were sending these inappropriate messages ridiculously fast. They would match, and oftentimes the first message would be "Do you want to come over and cuddle?" Things of that nature, or just just lewd, inappropriate things like that. And I think many women will say that they've received inappropriate pictures in an unsolicited manner from men. Any woman that's been on the dating apps for a long time, and so she was receiving stuff like that, which I thought was just disgusting and horrifying. I was ashamed on behalf of these men, and then, she eventually did match with some guys and did plan to go on some dates. And she did the same thing that you were talking about before when you matched with the guy. He Googled you before the date, as you should. I've Googled every single person that I've ever been on a date with as well. And, she was able to sort of find a hint of information that this individual might have a criminal background. And then she went and she figured out how to do a background check for $30 or something crazy. And he had a pretty concerning criminal past, right? And so through seeing all of these things, I was like, wow, I never spent too much time thinking about the dating experience of women. But then when I saw someone like my mom, who, is not particularly tech forward, trying to figure this all out, I said, there are no tools to really help individuals navigate this. Why can't you look up someone's image? Why does a background check have to be on some sketchy website and cost $50 to do it, right? There was just a complete lack of tooling. And while dating had just moved predominantly online, there just hadn't been any sort of services that have kept up with it. And I don't know, the ecosystems.
Okay, so there you have it. That's the reason why he created the dating app. If you want to see the rest of this video, it's on YouTube. It's called, I'll put the name on the screen so you guys can see. I think it's called The Realist Podcast. I hope I'm saying it right. But go watch the whole video yourself to see why he created it. He also mentioned something, and she mentioned something too, that the guys Google as well. So I want to be neutral with this because I don't want people to think, "Oh, she's bashing men." No, I want to have a serious conversation about this, and I've said this several times about dating. I want the men and the women to speak. I want to have a serious conversation about this. Men as well, y'all too need to be careful as to who y'all dating. Y'all have no clue what type of person y'all getting involved with as well. So you do need to find out what type of person you with. Don't just think that if she's soft spoken and beautiful, she's gonna be nice for the rest of her life. You need to find out what type of person you get where you have no clue who you get yourself in with. Because it appears that men also Google women as well. So men do the same thing as what the women do. You see the women are doing it, y'all do it too as well. Okay. So I'm gonna play this person from Instagram. She's gonna give you the full breakdown on the T dating advice app being hacked. So let me play this video for you guys.
That women used to rate the men that they dated was hacked, and more than 72,000 women have had their personal photo IDs and selfies released online. The T app, which reached #1 on the App Store this week with more than 2 million women downloading it, is a gossip app that allowed women to post pictures of the men that they dated and rate them as red flags or green flags, search through the men by name, and browse through men in their city. But in order to participate, women had to verify their identity by uploading a selfie or a photo of their driver's license or ID. And thousands of these private IDs were posted to the internet, exposing women all over the country. Some people are saying it's karma for women who are trying to expose men, while others are saying it's likely that a man did it to try to convince women and scare them away from using the app. What do you think of the T app? Is it fair for women to be able to rate men publicly and share their experiences? Leave a comment to let me know. I'm Tierka with the T. Follow for more.
So yeah, there you have it. That's what I've been hearing is I believe that they think it's a man that hacked the app to stop it so women can't use it. Because there is videos going around where the men are saying that they saw their faces on this app. Oh, yeah. And some of them came out and said that some of the women were being very misleading with their information. The information was misinformation. And then some of the information was good about the men because it tells you if they are really a red flag. But yeah, we're going to get into that later on. So I want to talk on briefly about how people are viewing this app online. I'm going to just read some of these reactions from the Shade Room. It says, T app, this is Sexy Red Down. It said the T app ain't even last a week. Golly. Actually, it's been out since 2023. So I just confirmed it been out since 2023. It got famous in 2025. Somebody says, Jess, it's a busted photo of me running around the internet because the T app done had a cyber breach. Bitch, I just wanted to be nosy. All you quick to gossip ad people who went and downloaded the T app. They got hacked this morning, and all y'all who are verified with your ID information is out on the web. I hope y'all all enjoy it with y'all messy ass. Imagine uploading your ID to get the T, and your ID becomes the T. Child. That's a good one. I'm glad the T app got hacked, and all the miserable hole got exposed, because some of y'all was doing the most because it was anonymous. Hashtag clock that T. Let me find out the T app is really hacked and somebody gets a hole onto my picture. Biggest lawsuit in America. Hashtag T app. Somebody said that the T app is proving that most women date the same small percentage of men. And I thoroughly agree. Hashtag T app. Interesting. Oh, very interesting. The T app got hacked and I'm so thankful I wasn't thirsty enough to download it. They're exposing mother effers like crazy. People pics, addies, etc. be exposed. So that's what's going on. I just want you guys to hear it is messy. I had to make a video about this. It is messy. Oh my goodness. So let me play some videos for you guys about this T app. Saw that there was a male version of the T app, but it got shut down in 24 hours. I'm gonna play half of this video for you guys, and we're gonna come back to the other video because there's a lot of information. Because I'm also hearing too that HIV is back on the rise as well. As I've been looking up this T app about dating, I'm seeing all kind of crazy stories about dating. And this is what I said when I was researching it. I kept seeing so many crazy things about dating. Ooh, child, we in for a ride today. So this is the public offender. If you want to see the whole video, go check him out. But let me play this video for you guys.
If someone tagged me in this, she's mad that men are making their own version of the T app. She's basically like, oh no, men are making their own version. They're going to use it to destroy women's reputations. And sometimes you got to wait, bro, and they'll just argue against themselves.
So the men out there made an app called T-Born, and they launched it just recently, I think yesterday or today. It got shut down less than 24 hours.
I think this is like, I don't think there is any greater example than this right here. When I say specific, like me personally, my idea of it doesn't go both ways, right? This is the prime example of that, because men and women function differently in society. We function differently. When I tell you that women are just objectively better people than men, I mean that from the bottom of my fucking balls. Like, I'm not joking. Women are objectively better people than men. Women as a collective are not trying to hurt men. Men as a collective are trying to hurt women. It's just the truth. It's just it's the objective, bro. That is a fact. That is a fact. Y'all can get mad all you want to. You can say it's 0.0% of men. No. It's men. It's men. It's most men. It's men. Men are trying to harm women every single fucking chance we get. And women are trying to protect themselves. It does not go both ways. I don't want to hear it. So we all remember when the T app got released, right? A few weeks ago now. And the T app is essentially an app where women can go, women can go and they could share information about men. It's like, I use the word gossip, but I know people think gossip is a bad thing. Gossip is good. For women, it has always been a protection mechanism for women. So women get on the app and they gossip about men. And I also want to use the word gossip because some of it cannot be true. I don't fucking know. But essentially though, it's women trying, the idea of it all and how I know that it functions is the vast majority of the information on there is true and accurate, and it is just women giving their experiences with various men, right? That's what I will stake my life on that the vast majority of those stories on there are true and real, and the women have no reason to lie because men are so fucking shitty, they don't need to lie about us. That's the craziest thing that I think is hilarious, that men are like, but they're on there spreading falsehoods. Why would a woman need to spread a falsehood when the truth would do? When the truth is much worse than her worst imagination? But that's what the T app was, right? Or is. So the men got all butthurt because men can't let women have shit. And men also can't let women get away with exposing men. So they came up with their own as a way to threaten women, right? They came up with their own app. You guys probably already know how it went, but we're going to get into it. So this is hilarious. This is straight from their TikTok page, the Dearborn app. They call it T-Born, which is a terrible fucking name. But Dearborn, this is an app that they're, from that city or whatever. They call it T-Born, right? And this is from that page. It says, RIP the Dearborn T app, July 9th to July 9th. I took it down because you guys don't know how to fucking act. I wonder if people could have foreseen this coming. Because just a week ago, this is what the men's was saying.
If someone tagged me in this, she's mad that men are making their own version of the T app. Now, if you don't know what the T app is, walk with me. Okay, now the T app is an app that only women can get on. Like, you have to prove you're a woman to be on there. And it's essentially anonymous, but what happens on there is you can date a guy and essentially write a review about him, and since he's not on the app, he can't see it. The mission statement is more so warning women if there's like a predator, if someone hits women, if someone cheats, which is a super great idea until you think about it for 2 seconds. Because again, any woman can say anything anonymously about any man. Meaning, if you've made romantic enemies, they could lie on your name. I haven't talked about it until now because I know people would just be like, oh, well, you must have something to hide. So I was like, you know what, I'll just ignore it for now. But then I saw this post. And she's basically like, oh no, men are making their own version. They were going to use it to destroy women's reputations. And sometimes you gotta wait, bro, and they'll just argue against themselves. It's like it legitimately doesn't cross their mind, wait, an app like this could be used to mess up someone's reputation until they're at risk. And mind you, obviously, every time this app is mentioned, men make that argument, like, what? They can just say anything, they can just lie. And then the women are in there disagreeing, like, nope, they're 100% truthful in there. But now it's like, when the gender that's not them has a version of the app, it's scary. It's like, now you can see all the flaws in the concept. It's actually ridiculous, but I know, like, there's probably someone watching who's like super worried about the T app now. Bro, honestly, don't worry about it. I'm saying this as someone who's made a lot of romantic enemies and just like enemies in general. One, there's nothing you can do. And two, if you're dating someone, right, and they take information from an anonymous app and take it to heart, is that the level of intelligence of someone you want to date anyways? Like truly, I don't know how big it is now, but it's like I just see the app like imploding. Like there's like something with that idea, something is gonna go wrong.
That's wishful thinking on his part. He hopes it implodes, but the women are not functioning like the men. Now, let's get into some of the things he was saying because he's an idiot. Like, I didn't want to use the dude's video. I'm tired of this guy. He's so fucking stupid. But so
I'm looking at this video and honestly, I don't know who this YouTuber is, but it's public defender. Please do not go to any of these YouTubers or anybody who I'm showing on the social media apps. Don't show them disrespect. Just go politely, comment to them. Child, I'm only gonna play 5 minutes of this, okay? Child, you gonna do the idiot and everything. But yeah, if y'all want to see the rest of the video, go check him out on YouTube. That's the public offender.
Gossip people about who you're dating. It's also an app where it's mostly catered and geared towards women. Now, initially when I first heard about this, I thought, okay, this seems pretty decent. But it's getting a lot of backlash on the internet, mostly by a lot of men.
My nigga, how the fuck did I get on the T app? I used to work with him. He gave me gay vibes. Nigga, what? Nigga, I only worked one job with females, bro. And that was at Olive Garden when I was a server. And the reason why I didn't fuck with none of y'all is because y'all was already fucking all the niggas on the job. Peep this. The niggas already told me, showed me text proof on who the fuck was already getting cracked. There was nobody at the Olive Garden that wasn't getting cracked on Camp Creek Parkway. Yes, I set the motherfucking location, nigga, and I know who the fuck did that shit. So you mad I have self-respect? You mad that I didn't give you the attention that you wanted and added to your high body count? And then the first given opportunity, you want to slander my name? What the fuck is wrong with you, gang?
Oh shit, man, they got me on the T app. Dean with him back and forth since March. Things have been going well, blah, blah, blah. He just pretty secretive with his phone, but I fuck with him. I just want to know the T. Bitch, you should have asked me. I would have just told you myself. The picture this bitch chose. This shit is from 2021 of my tag photos, bro. I wouldn't even show this shit to my mother.
Now, men think that this is a very detrimental app that's gonna make it really hard for them to manipulate women. And that's my honest perspective about it. A lot of men find like this is very detrimental, that it's discriminatory, and that it's a disgusting app that promotes gossip and perpetuates bullshit.
So if you want to see the rest of this video with Choice, CETV, go check it out for yourself. The rest of the video, I just wanted to play it because I know it was a certain TikTok video I was looking for where the guy was saying that the woman was calling him gay and stuff. Misinformation. So I wanted to bring that out. So if you want to see the rest of it, go see it on the YouTuber's page. So I'm going to talk about both sides. This is Law and Crime Network. I'm going to talk about both sides of horror stories of men dating and women dating. There is people getting killed on first dates. Let's not make it seem like that's not happening. There's stories of men and women getting killed on first dates. This is a guy here. We're going to talk about the men first, and then we're going to go into the women. So let me play this for you guys real quickly.
When Jarrell Pryor agreed to meet a woman he connected with online, he thought it was just a first date. He had no idea it would be his last night alive. Jarrell was a proud father, a girl dad. Now that little girl has to face a world without him. No more bedtime stories, no father-daughter dances, and one day, no dad waiting at the end of the aisle to walk her into a new chapter of life. What started as a simple night out allegedly ended in a deadly setup. Indianapolis police say Jarrell was ambushed, allegedly lured into a trap by the very woman he'd hoped to get to know. She reportedly was not alone. Detectives believe she was working with her boyfriend. An alleged plan to rob Jarrell turned violent and ended in murder. I'm Kennedy Walker, and I'll walk you through the chilling final moments of Jarrell Pryor's life and the twisted betrayal that left a community searching for justice. For this...
Okay, so I'm just saying, you might want to do your research on who you're dating. You don't know who you could be dating on your first date. That might be your last date. Same thing for this young woman. Going into the women. Jury finds a man guilty of killing and dismembering a 19-year-old woman on the first date. Did y'all remember this story? Okay, let me refresh your memories. Okay, I think a lot of y'all are not understanding why people are having an argument over dating. I've always said this on the channel. When I make dating videos, it's very rare because I do make dating videos, people seem to have arguments, and it's always the men saying the women are using them for money, or the women are arguing about the men using them just for their body. I keep hearing the same thing over and over and over, and now I'm hearing more stories of people getting killed on first dates. So I just want to keep that in mind. Now we are going to go to the dating horror stories. I'm gonna play one of them. Yeah, so this is by Jody the Island Girl. I'm gonna play some of the wild dating horror stories that women share, worst dates from hell. So I'm gonna play some of this for you guys.
Tell you, I didn't even wait for this man to pull over. He was over an hour late for our date.
Hey y'all, Jody here. Please remember to like, comment, and of course, subscribe.
Over an hour late to our date. I should have known then to just cancel the shit because you're not respecting my time. However, I overlooked it because I'm like, oh my God, I've known this person since high school, you know, and he's communicating with me, letting me know like, hey, I'm going to be, you know, this amount of minutes late. Like, you know, he's calling me, texting me, letting me know what's up because there's traffic. You know, we live here in LA, shit happens. He's coming off work, whatever. So I was cool with it. I was like, all right, cool. You're being communicative. Like, I'll still continue the date. He comes to pick me up over an hour late. And when I get in the car, we hug. Hey, nice to see you. Haven't seen you in a while. Like, you know, good to see you. Right. And then I let him know like, hey, like you're an hour late. Like next time, like, please don't show up so late because like, I won't like go on a date. Like I was being firm. I wasn't being a bitch. I wasn't being condescending. I wasn't yelling. I wasn't being aggressive. None of that shit. I was just letting him know like, hey, I'm a very punctual person. My time is valuable to me. And if you're going to tell me you're going to be here at 6 o'clock, don't show up past 6. Okay, don't show up at especially 7 o'clock an hour later. And do you know that this man turned his car around? It's like, I'm taking you back home. Like, who do you think you are telling me that I can't be late, pick you up to a date? I drove 30 minutes to pick you up and I paid for these tickets and blah, 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 blah. And who do you think you are? Who the fuck do I think I am, sir? Like, this is why they warn you, don't ever date the person that has chased you for a long time, that has wanted you for a long time, because they're usually crazy. I jumped out of a halfway moving car tonight because I could not get away from this man fast enough. And I left his door wide the fuck open and he like busts a bitch in the middle of the street and like peels off. What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Are you seriously mad because someone told you don't be an hour late to picking them up? The woman that you've been chasing for over 20 years finally gives you the time of day. I feel like this is one of those moments where he had it in his mind the whole time to play in my face because he wanted to get back at me from 20 years ago or something. Now, mind you, this is not an ex. I've never done anything to this man. I've never slept with him, never kissed him, never like curved him in any type of way, never played with this man's emotions. But I feel like because he didn't have access to me for over 20 years, when he finally got the opportunity, he wanted to like show me who's boss.
Okay. You're not going to believe this. Even I don't. The part I don't believe is that I found myself in that situation. Here it is. Date number 2 with the gentleman. First date, he lives about an hour away, drives up here. We go out to a nice lunch, early dinner, 4 o'clock. So an early dinner. We had a nice time and a okay conversation, nothing really exciting, but he didn't ask any questions about me. He told me a couple of things about himself, but he was perfectly fine, not saying anything, just eating, and then he wanted to come back to my house. He wanted to see where I lived. So we did come back to my house. We sat on my patio, and he didn't like the outside. He wanted to hang around inside, and I go home. So I graciously sent him home. Date number 2, he calls me and says, I'd like to see you tomorrow. Are you gonna, is that all right? I said, oh, well, I can shuffle my schedule around and I'll take the afternoon off from work. I don't get a lot of time off, okay? So I did that. And I said to him, hey, there's a big event going on that's going to be really great here in my town. Would you like to go? I was actually going to buy the tickets. They were very expensive too. And he said, oh no, I don't really feel like that. It'd be much too late. It'd be much too late when I get there for that. I said, oh, okay. Okay. All right. He got here in plenty of time to go to this event, hours before this event. And he got here and he wanted to hang around my house. And I said something about maybe go getting a bite to eat. And he said, well, I'm not really hungry yet. And so I thought, oh, okay. Reasonable enough. So he makes himself at home on my sofa. He's got my remote control, 84-inch TV, Roku. He's sitting here playing, having himself good times, feet up on my coffee table. And I just thought, he puts on some old cowboy movie. And I thought, I don't want to watch that shit. I don't want to watch that. What's up with that? So I thought, okay, well, I really don't know how to bring up this conversation. Like, hey, I really don't want to watch that. I'm not even the least bit interested. So I piddled and puttered around my house doing things. He had gotten up at some point and gone to his car to, I don't know, get his phone charger or plug something. I don't know. I was busy taking care of my household little projects that I hadn't had time to take care of now that I got an afternoon off. A little while later, I said, well, so I bring it up again. Let's go do something. Oh, I don't really feel like I just want to relax today. Well, in my head, the voice was screaming, go home and relax. Get off my damn sofa. But I didn't. My politeness kind of kicked in, took over. I don't know why. That little thing on my shoulder is always making me be polite because I don't feel like that. So that goes on. Another movie. I thought, what the hell? I putter around a little further, and I noticed that in my guest bathroom that something's different in there, but I don't know what. And okay. So I'm puttering around the house, putting things away, and cleaning up, folding some laundry. I'm killing time here at my house, feeling awkward in my own house, feeling unwelcomed and out of place in my own house that I pay all the bills to. I pulled myself together, thought I'm overreacting. It's all in my head. I go in my ensuite, my bathroom in my private bedroom, and I notice there is a toothbrush and an extra bar of soap in my bathroom on the counter. What in the hell? So I said, is that yours? Knowing it was. The damn cat didn't bring it in. And he said, oh yeah. He said, I was just going to stay over. He says, long drive. I said, it's only an hour. It's not a long drive. Date number 2. Oh, okay. No, I said, I that's not, no, we're not going to do that. You have wasted my whole afternoon off. I don't get a lot of time off, and I'm offended and put out that you have wasted my whole afternoon off. This is not a date. This is you being a bum. Hanging around my house, soaking up my air conditioning, playing with my Roku 84-inch TV, and watching my streaming channels, and eating snacks, and just hanging out, helping yourself in my fridge. Drank my last beer. I had one little beer in the fridge, just one. It'd been there for, I don't know, a few days, a week, month, hell, who knows. But got in the fridge, opened that beer, and told me, oh, you're out of beer. When he had said it earlier in the day, I didn't say it. I just thought, who in the F is he talking to? I'm out of beer. Like I was supposed to. I'd had all the acting polite that I could take, and I just let him have it. I said, you're rude. You don't have any dating etiquette. You don't have any house manners, and you don't. He said, well, I've got a good job, and the fuck does that got to do with me? I got a good job too. Was that? You have a job? That's what you got to offer, fool. Do you see this beautiful home and all these pretty things in it? Guess who provides them? Me. I got a job. Get the hell out of my house. Go home. Y'all, I'm going to be single forever. I am just sure of it. Y'all that are married, keep in mind all the good ones are married. Y'all take good care of them, okay? Congratulations. Take good care of them. But we who threw some out, we should not have thrown them out with the trash. No. We should have taken them down to the garbage incinerator and tossed them in there so that our counterparts wouldn't have to be doing this in the dating pool. I'm going to be single forever. It's a good thing I like myself. It's a good thing I enjoy my own company because I'm going to be single forever.
So I met a man in 2020. He was a good man. I love that man. He was totally my type, everything that I was looking for in a partner. So when we met, things were going good. And I'd say we got to about the 3rd date before he ghosted me for like a whole week. He then hits me up and he's like, hey, I am so sorry. I've had a lot going on. I really want you to come over to my house. I want to make this up to you. I want to go out. Just come over. So of course I go because this is the man of my dreams. And I know he's not just going to do me wrong. Life is busy, of course. So I get to his home. This man's entire face is wrapped up. I'm talking about like from here to here. There's tape all around. I'm like, what happened to you? He's like, oh, I had surgery on my sinuses. And, he's like, I'm not feeling well. I'm like, okay, then why the hell you call me over? So anyways, I'm like, okay, like, do you need me to do anything? He's like, well, I need you to open the door. My friend is here. His friend comes in, mind you, y'all, there's nothing wrong with the friend. He's like really nice, really respectful. Like he was over there checking on him because he had just had surgery. So we're all three there, chitter-chattering very awkwardly because his friend's like, I don't know this girl. And I'm like, I don't know him. But anyways, he's like, hey, Stace, would you mind going in the kitchen and fixing us some burgers? And let me tell you something. Who don't cook is me. I was like, burgers? And on top of that, I'm in all white. I ain't come over here to do no damn cooking. So I'm like, no, I can't cook no burger. He was like, well, do you mind boiling me an egg? At this point, I'm like, okay, let me boil this egg so I can go. So I'm like, okay, I'll boil you an egg. So I get on Google and see how long to boil a damn egg for. So I go in the kitchen. This is the most complicated damn stove I've ever operated in my life. And I'm like, I'm having a little trouble. So his friend comes in there and helps me turn on the stove. All while he's sitting over here wrapped up looking at me like. So the eggs have boiled and I give him the eggs and his friend was like, oh, I'm getting ready to go. And I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna go with you, homeboy. And he's like, Stacey, would you mind staying? I'm like, okay, because again, I'm not trying to show out in front of this man company. His friend leaves. He's like, what type of woman don't know how to cook a burger? You've embarrassed me. I was like, hey, homeboy, I didn't know I was coming over here to cook a meal because I could have ordered something. Like, I'm real good at ordering. He was like, I am extremely embarrassed. I'm like, okay, this is getting a little intense. I'm about to go. I'm like, I'm leaving. I don't have time for this. I'm gone. And at this point, he stands up and he's like, no, I demand you to stay. I can tell you never dated an alpha male. You don't know how to treat an alpha male. I was like, all right, okay, cool, bye. I'll own it. Y'all, this man's face is bleeding profusely. There is like blood just running down his face, on his shirt. And I'm like, hey, he's like, shut up. I'm like, all right, you gonna campaign for the Lord to come get you? Who am I to deny you the election? So at this point, he faints and he falls back into like a little chair. Like, I think he was being dramatic, but whatever. So he falls back and I'm like, I'm not going to touch him because, again, I'm in white. And this was a beautiful white dress. And I'm not about to mess up no white dress for somebody who disrespected me. In high intensity situations, I find myself like I have a delayed reaction to everything. So I'm just standing there waiting for him to come to. When this dude comes to, he was like, would you mind running to Chipotle for me? I'm starving. I was like, okay, I'll go to Chipotle for you. He gives me his debit card and I go to my car and I'm like, you know what? I was disrespected. So I put the debit card on top of his mailbox. I backed out of the driveway. I left and I was back over there 2 weeks later. Yep, sure in the hell was. Found out he was a polygamist, but that's how that story ends.
This is a story time about the worst ever date I ever went on, and no, it wasn't with my stalker. It was actually a completely different person. If you can even believe that, like, my luck. Set the scene, okay? I'm young, I just got out of a relationship, and I'm trying to mingle, get to know people. I had heard of this guy through, like, friends, and I thought he was cute through Instagram. Little did I know I got hatfished. Like, it was completely not cute when the hat was off. He messages me on Instagram as all amazing first dates happen, and he's like, hey, babe, you're so cute. Want to go on a date? You guys know me. What did I do? I folded and I said yes. At this point, I wasn't completely over my ex, so I felt like everything was giving me the ick, and honestly, I was kind of nervous to go on this date because obviously you don't know what a person really looks like until you meet them. My little shallow ass was trying to get a grasp on if I was even gonna think he was cute in person or if I was gonna get the ick, so I literally asked him, how tall are you? And he was like, 6 foot. I'm like, period. So I finally decided to let this guy pick me up because I knew people he knew and I felt like I was pretty positive that he wouldn't be an absolute weirdo. Boy, was I wrong. He comes to my house and I walk outside and his car is really freaking nice, especially for our age. Like, I was shocked at how nice the car was. I mean, this is a turn on not because I'm like a gold digger, but because I like to see that someone has like a work ethic and that they like take pride in the things that they have, whatever. Hop up in the car ready to be a little passenger princess and I start talking to him. I'm like, hey. And like, he's nice, right? Like, he's chatting with me. We're having like a nice little cordial conversation and then I look at the cup holder. There's just like a bottle of Henny on deck and I'm not new to this. I'm from New York, so I know that like Henny is like a little clothing accessory for men out here, but Like, I didn't think that was the vibe. At this point, I still didn't know where we were going on our date. He kind of made it like it was a surprise, so I asked. I'm like, where are we going? Where I'm from, there's this thing called a garbage plate, and a garbage plate is kind of like a mixture of a bunch of foods, and you go to garbage plate places when it's like late at night or when you're drunk, so he decides he wants a garbage plate, and I'm like, okay. Get to the garbage plate place, right? And he gets out of the car, and he comes to open my door. As you could have probably guessed, he was not 6 foot tall. He was shorter than me, and I was kind of like, red flag number 1, you lied about your height. Why? Why did you lie about it? The thing is like, I'm not against a short king. Like, I've been with shorter people and it's never really been a problem, but like, why lie? Why did you lie about it? Walk inside and we order our garbage plates and then we sit down and then he's like, oh, I have to run out to my car real quick. I'll be right back. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. He's gone outside for like 10 minutes and I'm just texting my girlfriends like, yeah, this is probably not gonna work. Comes back inside and we eat our garbage plates and then I'm just kind of like, I need an excuse to leave. So I'm like, oh, my mom wants me to come home. She needs help with something. Like, visibly disappointed and angry by this. And I'm just kind of like, oh my God, this is getting scary. Like, please just take me home. We get in the car and we start driving back to my house and I happen to look over at the Hennessy bottle. The formerly full Hennessy bottle. And it is now empty, like fully empty. And I'm just like, okay, I'm on a date with a fire-breathing dragon. How did he just drink all of that? And also, why is he risking my life?
This is the story time of the worst.
The rest of it, child. Go to Jody the Island Girl. I'll show you her. I think this was over 1 year ago. I might have to put a link down below. I'm probably won't find it, but this is what the name of Wild Dating Horror Stories. Women share worst dates from hell. Jody the Island Girl. The next thing that's been happening is I heard that the resurgence of HIV. Child, yes, this is 2 months ago, and I'll show you the name of the YouTuber that the YouTuber that you need, the new YouTube channel that you need to go see. I'm just gonna play half of it with you guys. Yeah, I told y'all, like, information keeps coming up as I research more and more and more about dating, the T app, and this is why we do need some type of information of who we're dating. Yes. Warning, if you don't want to hear this part, skip. But let's go ahead and play this video.
I found out I was HIV positive after noticing strange spots on my body and experiencing high fevers.
Over 18,000 people have HIV in Philadelphia. Over 40,000 people have HIV either in North Carolina or South Carolina. I'm not sure. It's one or the other. I'm not sure. But I just recently saw a video of a girl saying that it was recorded to have, I believe, over 200,000 people had HIV in Texas.
Damn. It's going to be a hot summer. Scratch that. It was a hot winter. Let's get into the rise in HIV numbers that's plaguing the country right now. What it look like, TV?
I am back. What it do, baby?
YouTube's own Varnell Hill.
Did you miss me?
Your very own spokesman for the Insidians. We're inside and we're comfortable.
They're so comfortable.
And I'm back with another one. And today we're going to get into a serious topic, y'all. We're going to get into these rising HIV numbers that's going all the way across the country. And first off, I want to say we are not going to shame anybody in this video because these people was brave enough to show their face to spread awareness to this cause, so maybe someone else won't get it. So we're not going to do that to them in the comments section. But the first thing that I want to stress to people in this video is that people with HIV have no specific look. You just can't point them out of a crowd.
You would have never known at first glance or through casual conversation that any of them people was anything but normal and healthy and happy. But it only takes one night, one bad situation to meet one person that knows or maybe don't know, and your whole life can change. This lady right here is going to share her story, and you're going to see how all it takes is just one evening and your whole life can change.
I found out I was HIV positive after noticing strange spots on my body and experiencing high fevers. It all started after a night out with my friend. I remember drinking a lot way, more than I should have. Things got so out of hand that I completely lost control of what I was doing. My friend tried to get me home safely, but we ended up arguing and she decided to leave. I stayed at the party with some other friends and eventually met this guy. He seemed fun, and the last thing one remember was dancing and having a great time. The next morning, I woke up in his bed, confused and unable to recall most of the night. I left before he woke up, brushing it off like it was no big deal. I thought that night wouldn't have any consequences, but a month later, I started losing a lot of weight. I was constantly running a fever, had terrible headaches, and noticed strange spots appearing on my skin. That's when panic set in deep down. Had a terrible feeling about what might have happened that night. I decided to go to the hospital.
One out of control night could change everything for you, man. And the saddest part of that whole equation to me was that could have been so easily avoided if she would have just followed an old school rule. And the old school rule for women was, if you go to the club with your girls, you leave with your girls. Under no circumstances do you break that rule. If y'all arguing, if y'all fussing, if y'all fighting, y'all fussing and fighting in the same car on the way home. And y'all will deal with it in the morning. If that one rule would have been just drilled in her head, it seemed like her girlfriends knew what it was. We gotta cherish some of this old school stuff, younger generation. Some of this stuff we got right. Whether you understand it or not, we got it right. That's why we here. But we gotta bring these old school things tight back. That could have easily saved her life. But let's be honest, y'all. These numbers are on the rise, these HIV numbers.
STD rates in the United States are at an all-time high. These are the top 10 cities with the highest STD and HIV cases reported today. At number 10 is Jacksonville, Florida, with a total population of over 956,000 residents, 22% being African American, 54% being Caucasian, and only 9.9% being Hispanic. At number 9 is New York City, New York, with a total population of over 8.5 million residents, 22.5% being Black, 34% being white, and 29% being Hispanic. At number 8 is Atlanta, Georgia, with a total population of over 500,000 residents, 56% of which are African American, 40% being Caucasian, and only 4% Hispanic. They're number 8 when it comes to not only the highest cases of HIV reported today, but also STDs in America. At number 7 is Memphis, Tennessee, with a total population of over 628,000 residents, 79% of which are African American, and only 14% Caucasian, and only 6% Hispanic. At number 6 is Baltimore, Maryland, with a total population of over 576,000 residents, 71% in which are Black, 15% are Caucasian, and only 9% Hispanic. At number 5 is Washington, D.C., with a total population of over 678,000 residents, 56% in which are African American, 34% are Caucasian, and 18% are Hispanic. At number 4 is Jackson, Mississippi, with a total population of over 150,000 residents. 94% are African American, 4% are Caucasian, and only 1% Hispanic. At number 3 is Baton Rouge, Louisiana, with a total population of over 222,000 residents. 67% of which are African American, 30% are Caucasian, and only 3% Hispanic. At number 2 is New Orleans, Louisiana, with a total population of over 376,000 residents, 65% in which are African American, 32% are Caucasian, and only 9% Hispanic. At number 1 is Miami, Florida, with a total population of almost 500,000 residents, 18% being African American, 34% being Caucasian, and 37% being Hispanic. They are number 1 when it comes to the highest number of STD and HIV cases reported in 2025.
clubs have been on a decline for the past 5 to 10 years. So it's not everybody getting this HIV in the clubs. They're getting this out in the regular general population with you and me, meeting average everyday people like you and me. We reached a point in society pretty much where before you get into bed, you need to go down to the clinic with somebody and get tested. Because people are actually thinking they're getting to know people, and the person that they're getting to know is leaving out the most important piece of information.
I was diagnosed with HIV a week after my 18th birthday. How did I contract HIV? So, me and a best friend of 10 plus years from middle school were living together, and she had her male best friend come over and his nephew. We would hang out a lot and kick it and stuff like that. So then me and the nephew started speaking, talking and stuff like that. We started talking for about 6 months. Then we made it official. Well, we made it official. We were on, talking for about a year. And this man was a good man for what I could think he was. I was 17, I was young and dumb. I didn't think that him going to make these runs and things like that would result in him actually doing other things. But then again, he was gone a lot because he worked in the streets, if you catch my drift. This man had no symptoms, that from what I could see. Like, we didn't live together, so we weren't always together, but he had no symptoms, like nothing. So I didn't know nothing of it. Mind you, I was tested before I got with him for everything. It was cleared. Everything was great, everything was all right. We were living our best lives, so I thought. So about 10 months into our relationship, I started feeling like, what's he really doing? He's not giving enough attention. He's not giving, I'm getting all this attention on the side that I want from you. So I confronted him like I do, okay? It starts an argument, of course. So fast forward a little bit, we just argue. We just was arguing, it was toxic, but we were still intimate, okay? So I turned 18 and decided to go donate some plasma because I was a broke hoe. And when you go donate plasma, you have to go twice to fill the entire bottle, okay? So when I went, the first time I donated, I got paid. I got my money, and I went back 2 days later. When I came back 2 days later, they pulled me into the room where they do the physicals, and they told me, you are not eligible to donate. You are do not return because we found traces of HIV in your blood. I was astounded. So at the time, I didn't have a vehicle, and I rode the bus. So I took the bus all the way to the doctor's office, crying in disbelief. It's not true. It's not happening. So then I went 2 days later after getting tested to get my results. And they came back in with 4 doctors, thinking I already knew. And I wasn't sure if I had it or not. Next thing you know, they're like, yeah, you have it. This is a therapist if you need one. This was your med doctor. We are going to start you on medication to get your levels where they need to be. Your viral count is the next steps, is getting you on medication. Mind you, I'm in the doctor's office alone, 18, barely, and just found out I have HIV and know nothing about it. I'm thinking I'm gonna die. So fast forward to about a month later, I am undetectable. So I was 20.
I don't know. I have no words. You see how easily that these people got it? It didn't took years and years, just a couple months over one night stand. They got it. Good looking people. Y'all want to see the whole story? Go see for yourself. This YouTuber, he made a lot of good points in this. That you need to protect yourself. You need to be conscious of, who you're dating, who you about to go out with. These people do not look like they're HIV. They don't look like they have HIV. And I'm happy that they came out and showed their faces to let you know that they have it. It's very hard to do that. But this is why I said men and women do have to I know it might sound crazy. Background checks. Get to know who it is. Like I say, I'll say this: go get tested, both of y'all, at the same time. You know, you don't know what you have. You don't know what that person might have. You might give it to someone else. So yes, I know y'all don't like these apps where people are sharing information about other people, trying to get to know who they are, what type of person they are. But you might end up with someone who might have HIV and they don't even know that they have it. Some of these people didn't even know they had it. They're telling their stories, they didn't even know they had it, because sometimes it doesn't show any signs. Some people might be more immune to HIVs than others. All right, so the reason why I show the HIV thing, that's why people were talking about T app a lot. That's why they were talking about the other app about men using it for women. And yet again, this is a different video by a different YouTuber talking about the same thing, the T app and HIV. I'm telling y'all, if y'all go do your own research, you'll start seeing all kind of crazy things about dating. Someone getting killed, someone getting used, someone getting disease. I'm telling y'all, it's crazy. That's why I don't like doing these topics. I really don't. But I want people to understand that this is a big deal, men and women. This is a huge big deal. Like, don't take, oh, I got the one, I have the one, and you end up getting one. So, you know what I mean? So let me play this video for you guys.
The T app has made it to Detroit, bitch, and it is made its grand entrance. Yo ho on there, my ho on there, and my mama's. This app got the whole city in shambles. They so pressed to get in that bitch in and took the baby girl and took a picture of her trying to get in the app. They over there threatening to sue. The T-page comments is worse than Twitter. They is going dumb. They ain't holding nothing back. All y'all is getting exposed. We done made they ass so mad they done went and made an Instagram page for the next. They putting y'all pictures up there and that everybody that hit you, cracked you, talked to you, whatever done happened, you're on there. And they letting it all go because they all mad. Detroit ain't been this messy since the Flippagram days, boo. If you seen your boo in that Flippagram, I was over it. But the creator of this app, come here, come to the front. Let's get one going for these studs. That's who we really need to be cracking down, these studs. I need one for the studs. Y'all can have them niggas. I want the stud. And don't let that girl upload her birthday pictures with that wig on. No, I need you to take it right now. Right now. Yeah, I see that hairline. Get out of here. Actually, have me approved, baby. Them 2-strand twists, yeah, you're out of here. Instead of feed in into a bun, out of here. Feed in no edges, out of here. But no, for real, let's get it going, because I just know my...
So, this thing has basically been overwhelming inside of my inbox as far as my emails, and a lot of people are asking me to break down and comment on this stuff that's flooding my timeline. And as soon as I opened up one of you guys' emails to see this stuff, now my feed is just completely consumed with everything about this T app. So essentially what it is it is an app for women, and apparently you have to verify that you are a woman. I don't know how they do that because I haven't actually downloaded it. But it is an app for women, and it's basically going city to city. So it's going to be the next newest thing until a bunch of defamation suits come up, and then it's going to go left from there. But basically it allows for women to be able to upload the photo of men and then talk about whether or not they actually slept with them or not, right? And so it's like a reincarnated actual real application of what you've seen basically even on Facebook and Facebook groups of women that's in, hey, have you talked to this guy? Are y'all dating this guy or whatever? But it's getting super messy, right? And so basically what's happening in my city in particular, I don't know about your city, but in my city in particular, a lot of guys are quote unquote getting exposed. And the women are basically saying whether or not they slept with them, if they got diseases, how messy they are, whether or not they in a relationship, married, all of this type of stuff, right? So essentially it's an anonymous app for women to write nonsense and gossip about each other or gossip about guys to each other. Now, I'm not sure how the application developers are going to monetize it. I'm not sure how things are going to play out, but this is more or less an opportunity for me to say that it is always better to not be messy. And this is why I keep telling y'all operating with dick discipline will prevent you from finding yourself in this space in the first place. Now, I also see guys that are on it saying, "Oh my God, I'm in a T app," so they're looking for clout, right? So it's interesting to see how this thing is going to evolve. But basically, what you see is everybody, well, not everybody, all of these women scrambling to basically find out what the red flags are of a guy if a guy ends up winding up being on this application in the first place. But one of the early problems that I see with it is that it's anonymous and anybody can actually write anything, so it doesn't verify whether or not it's the truth or it's a lie. Because, so what, you just gonna take somebody's word for it?
I don't remember the girl that came.
So I'll put the name of this YouTuber up here as well. He says some really good things. You don't know if this is true or not. You have no choice. You don't know. Like I said earlier, if you're dating someone, if you want to know if they have a disease, both of y'all go get tested. If you want to know more about the person, try to get to understand them first. Try to see what type of individual. Ask a lot of questions. Ask other people other questions who knows them. Because like I said, I'm not against these apps that's exposing the men and the women, because there was two of them. Because you do need to know what's going on with the person who you're dating. Like I mentioned earlier, the men said that they were Googling women, so I don't really see anything wrong with that. But like I say, you don't know if the information is true. Just putting that out there. Let's go ahead and just wrap this up with my final thoughts. So my final thoughts on this T app. Final thoughts. The reason why Sean Cook, made this app, because he didn't want his mother to get catfish or scammed or, just be mistreated. That was the whole point of him making this app. And I think that was the whole point of the men making their version of the app as well. They didn't want to get mistreated by women. And, I understand that. But I've been talking about dating for about a couple of times, like maybe once or twice on this channel. I'll put the links down below. And I can tell that there's something going on with the dating scene. Like I said, I don't date. I prefer to stay single. But I do have friends that tend to date, and they do not have any good stories of dating at all. The men too, as well. I've had guy friends as well. They don't have any good stories of dating. It's all horror stories. The women ain't this. You have a lot of podcasts that comes up where the women ain't this, the men ain't that. If you're 30-year-old, if you're a woman, if you're 30-year-old, you're washed up and dry. The men are bums. I've been seeing all these videos all over social media. I know y'all have seen them too. It's crazy how now it's the men versus the women content that I have seen. When I talked about, I know it's a problem because when I talked about DDG and Haley Bailey, a lot of y'all were coming after me because y'all were mad that I was spreading out information, getting receipts about DDG and Haley Bailey. A lot of y'all are just crazy with this dating. Y'all are so infatuated with who's dating who and what's going on in their relationship and why they break up. Like, the whole dating scene is a mess. It's chaos, y'all. Like, it's a mess. It's chaos. That's how I view it. I don't think I'm not against dating, but man, it's awful out here, and I see why a lot of people don't want to date anymore. They just want to be by themselves and travel around the world. But let me know what y'all think down below in the comment area. But as for now, I shall see y'all later. Peace.
Fendi and Adana, Karen, they be sharing all their money, got me wearing fly. Girl, but I ain't asking. They say they love my ass and 7 G's to religion. I say no, but they keep giving, so I keep on taking. And no, I ain't taking. We can keep on taking. I keep on demonstrating my love, my love, my love, my love. You love my lady lumps, my hump, my hump, my hump. My humps, they got you. Got you, they got you. They got you, got you, they got you.